Let's go. What's up, Instagram? Let's get part two. Part two of what's up? Part two of the Brew and Orange podcast. Here we go. All right, so where we leave off, we talked a little bit about my disappointment for this season, which shouldn't be a surprise to anyone who's listened to my other podcasts. I'm a Gator freak, Gator fanatic. 8-4 is not good enough. That's not the Gator standard. Gator standard is like your baseball team, who is constantly ranked up in the top, competing. Obviously, different ball game there, but consistency, victories, titles, that's what you want. That's not what Florida showed today. Look, so let's get a little bit more recruiting before we jump into the Bucs. I don't want to skip anything because recruiting is what I love. So, Sam McCall, who's a five-star athlete who committed to Florida a couple months ago, decommitted when Torian Gray left. Now, is he going to get back in this class? It's not looking. I mean, he's not gonna. We're gonna recruit him. McGriff's gonna recruit him. There's obviously a reason why he committed to Florida in the first place. But this is another weird thing about recruiting, and it's something that has always fascinated me when high school players like this decide to commit to a coach, not a school. I'm no five-star athlete. I don't have 30 offers to D1 schools. Let's pour up a little sip of this. This is the cool thing about this. So if you're watching on Instagram Live, or if you're going to see this on YouTube TV, I love this little jar with this fancy little spout. There it is. Just a little tiny tipper right there. Cheers, everybody. I do love some Old Forester. So that's the problem. Right now, McCall is a Florida prospect from the state, top 100 prospect nationally, one of the top-rated athletes in the state of Florida. It's a guy that needs to be in your class if you're the University of Florida, because you are the top dog in the state right now. Well, you were. Miami is probably going to debate you on that if you talk about that. Right now. Because obviously Florida with Trask and Pitts and Tony and the whole shebang is practically one of the best. So let's be honest. Florida, Alabama, that was essentially a national championship. Let's be real. Alabama, Ohio State was not close. If you give me any game to rewatch from last season, Gator or anything, give me that Florida, Alabama game, and a lot of people will tell you that as well. That was an exciting game. It was a shootout, but when you have no defense, I just have to go back. For all those who were listening earlier, did you hear what I said? We were scoring 40 points a game, and we went 8-4. Oklahoma and the Cows, an awful game. I mean, you had record-breaking offensive production. It was wasted with a crap defense. Anyways, back to recruiting. Jermaine Singletary, I forget his first name. 5-star, out of Jacksonville. You chose Ohio State. That's just what we talked about. It was probably the first podcast I ever did. And I told you, Florida has not recruited the state of Florida the way that they should, being the alphas in the state. And if you don't recruit the state that at a high level, if you let these Alabamas, Clemson's, Ohio States, even Georgia, you let these teams come in and take your top talent, especially at a position that you call yourself DBU. You just can't let that happen because they're going to beat you every time. Ohio State's class right now is wild. I'll have a full recruiting one just looking at this 2021 wrap up, because we're coming close to the signing period, the final signing period. Florida doesn't have much more room to add. They're probably going to add another portal guy. They'll probably add Arnold if they're lucky. But you never know. And right now, I'm sorry. Yell at me, call me Debbie Downer, tweet at me, whatever. Florida's not going to get it done on the field against the Georgias and on a regular basis. Yeah, okay, we beat them, but they stomped us the last 2 years. Or at least, aside from a good game plan from Mullen, we just didn't have the horses last year or the year before. That's another thing. What season are you somewhat disappointed when you have a victory over Georgia? That's the problem for me. I love to hear more from you, so tweet at me, Instagram me, let me know what you think once this is posted. It was disappointing for me. So let's get into a little bit of the coaching, a little bit more of that. So Christian Robinson, linebacker coach, he's a good recruiter. You know, he's out there with he got our hoppers, wingos. He gets his guy. His one or two guys he missed on Sorry. Obviously, that was someone that we were watching, and it never popped for Florida. He was a Georgia guy the whole time. I think he may have just been leading us on. Who knows? And that's what we have to watch out for Arnold, because Georgia's going after him. Bama's faded a little bit to the back of the pack. Once Gray left, everyone was wondering, is that going to hurt the Terry and Arnold recruitment? And you'll never know. But he got predicted to win at Florida, which was surprising to me. 247, good article. They told you the top uncommitted players. Sorry, I don't know the author, but it was on 247. The top 10 uncommitted. One of them was Terry and Arnold, predicted to go to Florida. But again, you've got these guys, top talent at skill positions, the positions that it takes having the guys to win. They're game changers. You know, could you imagine having a guy like, and now it's early. This 2021 class, or the 2022 class, it's early right now, obviously. So let's give it some time, see what Mullen can do, see if he can put some more recruiters on the staff. You know, everyone was really pumped when Brewster came on. Brewster's going to get his guy each year, but we still need to land, we need to land these 5-star guys, not through the transfer portal. It's not sustainable. You can't do that. You bring in guys and they start over people for a year. You just run the risk of really pushing guys out the door. You've got to build continuity. You've got to build rapport with these players, and it starts by bringing in a top-rated class, not being ranked 7th with 26 freaking commits. And if you look right behind you, breathing down your neck, you've got these schools with 4, 5, 6 less players. Obviously, their average rating will go down, but they're recruiting. I mean, they've got the 5 stars. Don't tell me stars don't matter, because there's not 5-star guys playing in the NFL. We're talking college recruiting. Stars matter. Ask Alabama. Ask Clemson. Ask Ohio State. It matters. You know, Notre Dame just underachieves constantly, but they're always towards the top. It's the same usual suspects. And, it's a little frustrating if you're a Florida fan, because you just think about back in the day, the Brandon Spikes, the Tebows, the Percy Harvins, the Major Wrights, the list goes on and on. They were recruiting the state of Florida, Lakeland High School. You have to land these kids at a high school, and you've got to get them on the field, develop them. Dan Mullen just trusts his development more than he cares to go out there and just beat the doors down and land the guys. I'll tell you what, my biggest gripe, and we'll move on to the Bucs after this, so I don't want to keep you here all night. My biggest gripe was the change in attitude from Mullen. And Justin's going to argue with me about this. I can't wait. But that game mattered. If that game didn't matter, we wouldn't still be talking about it. Right now, I could probably go to Twitter and we'll find someone complaining about losses to LSU and Oklahoma. It matters because optics matter. It matters what the media says about you because there's recruits. It matters that you went out because you prop yourself up. You said you've been to 3 New Year's 6 games. Well, you're 2-1 in them. Congrats. But you came out and you got whooped. And if it didn't matter, why are they talking about Oklahoma in such a positive light now? Spencer Rattler, oh man, all these guys. Their preseason polls and all the chatter is positive towards Oklahoma. And right now, the optics are negative towards Florida. It matters. If they're keeping score, it matters. Because someone wins, someone loses, and that number goes into one of those 2 columns. And if I recall correctly, Dan Mullen, you said, if you want to thumb wrestle, I'll beat your ass because I want to win. Someone wins, someone loses every time. And that's the culture he said he was instilling. He always talks about the Gator standard. So I don't care if you're playing your third strings or your walk-ons or you had to pull someone out of the crowd. If they're keeping score, it matters. And that's as simple as that. Rankings matter, stars matter, the games matter. Development matters too, but you got to have a healthy balance of both, or you're underachieved like Georgia, or you sit here and you just can't compete. Depth. Don't you think if Florida had just quality depth sitting there, the Oklahoma game looks a little different. Maybe they compete. Maybe I don't know. And there's a lot of people I know right now that aren't completely on the Emory Jones train. I mean, because if you think we're going to have an air attack like we're throwing one of those little Nerf footballs next year. He throws a pretty ball, don't get me wrong, but you better look back to the Nick Fitzgerald days at Mississippi State, the Dak Prescott days. Look back at those days. I think that's where our offense is heading. Hopefully, I mean, it's obviously way better talent on Florida's team, but that's where we're heading. We're heading down the road of kind of this option of, just the whole play action type stuff. Emory's going to run. Hopefully he doesn't have brittle bones and he can survive all that because Dan Mullen knows how to use him. That's why we like Dan Mullen. That's why we've talked Emory Jones up, is because he fits the mold. A lot of people are excited about Anthony Richardson. He's a big, fast, physical guy. Man, he's a horse. Can't wait to see him out there. But what is in Florida's future in that, we don't know. But let's get back to, I get on tangent. That's why I'm here talking to y'all. This has been pent up when I haven't been on here and since Thanksgiving or something, since I went ghost after that Florida loss to LSU. I didn't want to face the music. But it doesn't matter. We'll see what that is. All that matters right now, Tampa, Florida, 8-1-3, Tampa Bay Bucs. That's what it's all about right now. And I'll keep it short and sweet. Our Instagram video's got about 4 minutes. We can just let that ride. When that ends, because I didn't want to do it live. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But I'll put it on there regardless. All right, so they beat the Saints. Bucs came out, NFC South champs. They're going. This is what it is, or not yet. Not NFC South champs yet. We want to win this NFC game and play in the Super Bowl here in Tampa. And the fun thing is, the NFC is the home team this year. So the Bucs not only get to possibly, if they win, they got to get over the snow humps. They got to get over. They've got to beat Aaron Rodgers. Arguably, this is again. We were spoiled last week. We saw Breeze versus Brady. All the storylines of the oldest quarterbacks combined age in a game. Not specialist. I know there's probably a game where they've had some super old kickers, but doesn't matter. Brady Breeze was a great game. You hate to see Breeze go down like that. Any other day, if he wins, he wins. But hey, we're sending him packing into retirement with a loss for the Bucs to get a chance. 1 game away from the Super Bowl. It's gonna snow. Last time I checked, 60% chance of snow in Lambeau Field in Green Bay. I've got some cousin-in-laws, I guess you can call them, Cole and them up there, Bill, and they're all Green Bay fans. You know what? Not having it. It's Bucs time, baby. We got Brady. It gets my hands clammy and sweaty when I think about it because it's been since 2002. I'm 33 years old. I graduated in 2006 from high school. 2002, freshman year of high school. It's a long time coming right now. My buddy Justin is the biggest diehard Bucs fan. There are 2 types of people watching that game against the Saints. He was pumped up and he's going to carry that momentum. I just kind of sat there and it just hadn't set in until maybe a couple of days ago. Now you're turning on. Someone posted something today. It's January and the Bucs are practicing right now. We haven't been able to say that in a very long time. The acquisitions of Bruce Arians and Tom Brady can't be overstated enough. Get out of here, bug. Can't be overstated enough. Tom Brady, yes, T. Krause has said it on the morning show. Tom Brady was a franchise-changing acquisition. He truly was. And I know Ronnie, Night Train, he said no. So I'd love to hear him now tell me that Brady was not a franchise changer. It was I still got, I feel like I'm in a twilight zone. 2020 was weird enough, but the fact that number 12 is lining up under center, wearing the pewter and the red, man, it's mind blowing right now. And as a Tampa Bay fan, guess what? This is going to be. This will show my age a little bit, and maybe it shows I got a good memory. I remember watching the Bucs on UPN 44. We used to say the Bucs suck here on UPN 44. Justin will remember that because I don't know a bigger Bucs fan. Him and Sean will have to rock, paper, scissors for that. UPN 44, that's what we used to watch. That's where we used to catch the awful games back then, the old sombrero, UPN 44, man. 2002 seemed like it was, it was over a decade ago. Unbelievable. So this is big for us right now. I know a lot of Bucs fans are happy about it, and I think that once we get to the game, I'm gonna turn this down again because we're already there. There we go. Instagram Live. You got 30 minutes of this right here. It's fine. Watch it if you want. But this is a big deal for the city of Tampa. The pandemic, COVID. Look at that. Stanley Cup champions, World Series. And now we're going to sit here and hopefully be hosting a Super Bowl. Hopefully, Mayor Jane Castor, if you're listening, cheers. Let's make that a holiday if everything goes right. If everything goes well on Sunday. Let's make that a holiday. Oh, and I cannot wait to see Riverwalk, Julian B. Lane Park. Wear your mask, social distance, do it, don't come if you don't want to, but don't ruin my good time. That's going to be fun. I went to the NFL experience back in 2002 when it was right behind, in between the spring training for the Yankees right there and the stadium, and it was awesome. Kick, punt, pass, you can do all the stuff. Pretend you're Tom Brady out there. Pretend you're Leonard Fournette or Ronald Jones. You can juke, kick. I can't kick anything, but I can throw. It's going to be fun. I hope everyone gets to go out there. I hope everyone enjoys it. We've had some beautiful weather, and I'm just so excited that because no matter how Sunday goes, this has been a heck of a ride. We know Gronk wants to come back. He just got done talking about it. We know Brady will be back next year. He's hungry. And I think if Jason Light makes some moves, we've got a lot of guys on one-year deals. I mean, Antonio Brown, Fournette. I mean, just the pieces that were put together is mind-blowing. And this defense is playing its best football of the season right now. 4 takeaways last week against the Saints. They made Breeze. He wasn't himself. Breeze was truly not himself last week. And this is the crazy stat. I looked at this over and over again. Am I seeing this wrong? The Bucs were 8-2, including the playoffs on the road. 8-2. They finished the season 11-5. 8-2 on the road, including these last 2 wins against Washington and New Orleans. We lost that one on Monday Night Football to the Bears. We lost one to the Saints at the first game of the season in New Orleans. So we're 8-2 on the road, and that includes these 2 playoff games. I'm not making my prediction yet, but they are a 3-point underdog to Green Bay. To me, 3 points in the snow. Call that what it is. I think Suckup has made 7 here in a row. He's been pretty automatic. I think this game comes down to a field goal. I mean, remember the Tuck Rule game? The Raiders and the Patriots coming down to a last-minute field goal. Can't see your hand in front of your face. Snowballs, man. Let's see what we got. The Chiefs game, it was snowing a little bit in that one too. But let's see what happens. The Bucs have won 6 straight since they dropped that game. They lost that 6 straight since they dropped 2 in a row to the Rams and to the Chiefs, and they went on this run. And everyone knew if they wanted to get to that magic 11-5, I can't remember what T. Kraz and all of them had as what their prediction was, but you won 9 games. You won 11-5. You're 11-5, and you've won 6 games in a row. You're 8-2 on the road. The defense is playing its best ball of the year. Devin White, I mean, the guy he's a franchise changer too. That was a great draft pick. Vita Vea's back now. I can't wait to see how this game goes. On Sunday, it's going to be exciting. It's a 3 o'clock kickoff. You know how it is, 3:04, 3:05. Cheers every time. Every time I take a sip of this nonsense, I'm going to cheers y'all. And remember, it's a happy, happy Thursday evening. We're going into Friday. We're going to golf. We're going to watch some football. Man, look at that shirt. The shirt is awesome. And you see this little thing back here. Thanks, Dad, Valerie. You can't read it. It says, "This is Gator Country." And those little balls here, this one here, and this one here are signed by Nolan Ryan, my favorite player. He's in that box. So, just saw that over my shoulder. Pretty cool. This is Gator Country. You know it is. Brew and Orange is what we do around here. We're the original craft beer and Tampa Bay sports podcast, specializing and talking about some recruiting because I love it. I'm like Colin Cowherd. I'm a nerd with it. I just love watching these trends, especially in the state of Florida. That's just what we do here on Brew and Orange. And that's all I'm going to do for tonight. I mean, this has already been dang near an hour. So, look, everybody have a great Friday. Have a great rest of your Thursday evening. Listen to this wherever you find your favorite podcast. Watch it on Instagram. I'll have a pretty decent portion of this on Instagram. Find it on YouTube Live. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. Brew and Orange. Type that in. You'll find me. Drink local. Shop local. Go get your shirt. 1771 Designs. Matt in St. Pete. When I went to their website, it looks like they're moving to a new location. But if you're like me and you like shopping online, this is a medium. Fits pretty good, a little tight, but hey, that's how we do. We like schmediums. So, hey, great shirt. I'm gonna get me a Bucs one next. And when Rays season starts, I'm gonna get me a Rays one because they've got all your Tampa Bay sports covered, and I really want that PD, the Penguin. I think that's his name. I hope I'm not butchering that. But man, they got some great clothes over there. Pub Pass again. Thanks to Olivia and Jared. Happy birthday to me. Can't wait to go with my wife, bar hop around. Hopefully some of my friends. Justin, I'm looking at you. Jeremy, grab this. Let's go bar hop. So, cheers again to everybody. Have a great weekend. Safe, fun. Hey, be kind to one another. Wear your masks. Be safe and healthy. Cheers.